So you're Blackanese, right? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but my skin has been giving me grief. A lot of grief, so I'm hiding it with my hair right now. And speaking of skin, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that watched my last video about eczema, everyone that has messaged me through Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or just left a comment on the video. The response has been amazing, and it's been really nice to talk to some of you about your skin. And I hope to do a skin update before the end of the year, and hopefully I can put a little skin routine in there to show people what I use and how I deal with this on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for reaching out and messaging me, and I hope everyone has an itch-free day today, and I hope your skin gets better. But anyway, on to this video. So it is October and it is Black History Month, and I thought I would do this tag because it seems to fit in quite nicely with it. So here we go. Question number 1. What am I mixed with? Both my parents weren't born in England. My mum is from the Philippines and my dad is from Ghana, and on top of that I grew up in London. So I believe my mum and dad met in the cinema. My dad used to work there and my mum used to go there pretty often, and yeah, he used to sometimes give her free popcorn, try and get her in for free, and that's how they met. Is your hair straight or curly? Evidently very curly, and rightfully so. What ethnicities have I been mistaken for? So depending on how I wear my hair, that really determines where people think I'm from. So when my hair is straight, I normally get Indian, and when my hair is curly, people think that I'm from the Caribbean, which is a great compliment, but unfortunately I'm not. People think I'm Jamaican or Bajan, and if it's not from the Caribbean, if it's in Africa, it's rarely Ghana, it's normally Morocco or Egypt or Ethiopia. Ghana and Philippines rarely come up, which is weird, because I think I have a very typical Filipino nose. If you're Filipino, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but people just don't see it. Was it challenging growing up mixed? Ironically, the only place that I found it difficult was at home. And that is because on top of my parents being from different countries, they are also from different religious backgrounds. So my mum is a Christian or Catholic, and my dad is Muslim. And when I was born, he gave me a naming ceremony. And this is where someone from the mosque comes to your house and they say a couple of prayers over you as a baby, and they put honey in your mouth so that you associate the name of God with something sweet or something nice. So that's where I get my Muslim name Zainab from. The thing is, after that, he never really instilled any more Islamic values into me. Even things like food. My dad doesn't eat pork, but my mum does, and I do. He's never stopped me from eating pork, but he won't eat it himself. But he has never ever taken me to a mosque. He has never ever shown me a Quran or how to read Arabic. My name is as far as it goes when it comes to being Muslim. Other than that, do I celebrate Christmas? Yes. Have I been to church? Yes. But it's always on my own accord. My mum's never forced me to go to church. I will just go because I want to. But on a whole, me personally, I am not religious. Coming from a family with 2 religious backgrounds, I just think there's too many differences in beliefs that it made it hard for me to be strict in any religion. So in myself, I just chose not to be religious. That doesn't mean that I don't believe in something, because clearly we didn't just appear out of nowhere, but I cannot say that I'm Christian, I cannot say that I am Muslim. I just think that my parents also had like differences in opinions of how to bring up a child. My dad was very strict and more like tough love, whereas my mum is more nurturing and more comforting. So I just feel that there's a difference in culture and understanding, and that is where I found it most difficult growing up. Which background do you embrace the most? I embrace my Asian side way more than I embrace my African side. And I think a lot of that stems from the fact that me and my dad are not close. It's always been that way, and it's really molded me to gravitate more towards my mum. I have been to the Philippines 5 or 6 times now. I have never been to Ghana. I can understand Filipino and maybe answer like yes or no in a conversation. I don't understand any word of Ghanaian. The food, I love Filipino food. I've started to learn how to cook a few dishes. I do not know any African dishes, and that is just how it is. Have I ever been teased for being mixed? People show more of a curiosity about where I'm from, but the only time that I feel uncomfortable about being mixed is when I go on holiday with my mum to the Philippines. When I was younger, more so, not so much now, but in the Philippines, people rarely date outside of their culture. People that live in the Philippines normally stay in the Philippines and marry another Filipino person. So when I was younger and I would go on holiday with my mum, I would get stared at a lot. Yep, I get stared at, I get pointed at. People couldn't understand that I was my mum's daughter. They see me as something alien because obviously I have darker skin, I have curly hair, I just look different. And it was very unnerving walking into a shop and have people very blatantly look at you, stare at you and talk about you. The thing is, in my family, I am the only one that has curly hair and darker skin. And in a family picture, I stand out like a sore thumb. I look different from everyone else. If you go to Philippines and you go to a tourist site like Boracay, which is a beautiful island where everyone flocks to, they see people of different nationalities and cultures all the time. Where my mum comes from in Manila is a very small village called Tarlac. Seeing people of colour like me, it's very rare for them. Have I ever been ashamed of being mixed? I hated my hair. That is the one thing I wish I could have changed. Endless hours were spent either trying to chemically straighten my hair, straighten it with straighteners, just tame it so it wouldn't be so frizzy. To be so envious of my cousin, she had the longest, blackest, shiniest hair. It was all the way down to her bum and it was so sleek and shiny, and there was me with this puff, just literally a puff or a halo of curls that would never lay flat, they would never cooperate. I was so jealous and I just really wanted to be like my family. My mum has straight hair, my aunties all have straight hair, and it really showed as I got older. When I hit my teenage years and I could do whatever I wanted to my hair, all I did was straighten the crap out of my hair. I wanted to fit in, that was all it was. But as I've grown up, clearly I've tried to embrace my hair, and do you know what, I really love my curls now. I love them. I literally love my curls. I cannot describe how weird it is to say that I used to straighten this and hate this. It is bizarre looking back now, but I wouldn't have it any other way. What are the benefits of being mixed? I think you have the best of both worlds. It forces you to be more open-minded about different people and different cultures. You always hear this stigma of mixed people not being enough on either culture. I am not black enough to be African, I'm not Asian enough to be Filipino. I'm bang in the middle, I'm just lost in limbo. But I think being mixed, it just makes you more appreciative and accepting of others. When I have kids, my kids are going to be mixed whether they like it or not because of me, and I just feel like it's my responsibility to pass down the cultures, as much of it as I can, to my children. Another thing that I've noticed, and this could be technically a pet peeve of mine, so it kind of happened about 2 weeks ago. I met up with a friend and her workmate was there as well. I've never met her before, and she was half Nigerian and half white. And then she asked me where I was from, and I said, my mum's from the Philippines and my dad is from Ghana. And then she goes, oh, so you're Blackanese, right? And it's this little bit inside me that really, it irks me. I can't say I'm offended by it. I'm not offended. It just irks me because I literally just told you that I am African and Filipino, but you have called me Blackanese. Now, the last time I checked, I am not Japanese, I'm not Taiwanese, and I'm not Chinese. So I just think it's very dismissive of what I've just told you. And I think we tend to do that. I'm probably guilty of it too. When people say that they are from the Caribbean, you immediately think of Jamaica. But really, there are 26 countries in the Caribbean. Same with Africa. When someone goes, oh, I'm African, you jump to Ghanaian or Nigerian. But there are 54 countries in Africa. And it's very blatant with Asia. When you say you're Asian, the first thing people think of is Chinese. And there are 48 countries in Asia. So I just feel like that when you don't understand where someone has come from, you just generalize them as, oh, that's like this, right? But no, because every country has their own their own people, their own culture, their own way of life, and it's just very dismissive to generalize people as something else. The thing is, I've had that quite a lot. I tell people where I'm from and they go, oh, so you're Chinese, and I'm just like, no, that's not what I told you. Can't really change it. It's just you have to educate people about where you're from. And another thing, listen to what people are telling you. But on top of the generalization, I found that if you meet someone and they're from the same country as you, the first thing you want to do is ask them which part. You want to be more specific and you want to pinpoint where they're from. Yet if you don't understand, you just want to generalize them. It's very bizarre. Just a little thing that I've noticed. What is the beautiful thing about being mixed? I just think the way that genetics work is amazing. It's just the mixing of skin complexions, eye shapes, nose shapes, hair textures, body types. It is just a lucky dip of genetics and you don't know what you're gonna get. Because I could have turned out completely different. I could have had really fair skin like my mum, but also have extremely curly hair like my dad. Or I could have come out with darker skin like my dad and come out with straight hair. It literally, this is what I'm working with, but it could have gone either way. It's beautiful. Any advice that I would give to someone who is struggling with their multiracial ethnicity? All I can say is embrace it, because out of all the odds of all the how many billion people on this earth, your mum and your dad, coming from two different backgrounds, maybe even coming from two different countries, different parts of the world, they've overcome all these obstacles to create you. And if you can't see that as something beautiful, then I don't know what to tell you. Very cheesy, but it's true. You are literally like 1 in a billion and there is no one else like you. And you should embrace your mixed heritage and pass it on to your children, because if you are mixed, your children are going to be mixed regardless. And it should be something that you tell them is beautiful, and you should not be ashamed of it. And that's the way I see it now. Now that I'm older, that's how I see it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I will try to be more consistent with my uploads, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.